Hi guys, it's Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. I'm Linda, your host of 90 Day the Melanated Day. Melanated Day? It's a melanated day for me, but it's the melanated way here. Welcome. This is our first show of 90 Day Bears All. And before I get started, shout out to the day oneers, Tessa, Jaleesa, Linda, Raydella, Lydia, Crystal, Amanda. Love y'all. Shout out to the live chat. If you're watching us on Facebook, hey, Facebook. I want to start with a question because I think that the question is going to dictate the direction of the show, even though I have notes. So here is my question. Did you subscribe to Discovery Plus? And I'll tell you why I'm asking this. Is because I hawed and hooed, and you know that meme that's going around that I wasn't going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Okay, girl, I did it. I did it last minute today. Hi, Sarah. Everyone say hi to Sarah from Australia. Welcome. I did it last minute. And guys, I got to tell you, first of all, you get 7 days free. So let's talk about this. There's a 7-day trial period. And if you decide that you don't like it, then you don't have to get charged and you don't have to pay for it. There's a $4.99. Really, Raydella, you didn't do it? Really? There's a $4.99 and a $6.99. The $4.99 is with ads, and the $6.99 is ad-free. And so I've been reading a lot, like all over the internet, like what people are doing, because apparently there's some secret code out there that if you have a code, you get an additional discount. A lot of people are waiting. So some of the shows haven't aired yet, right? So they're doing it as a weekly thing. So for example, 90 Day Bears All, I will break it down for the people that haven't bought Discovery Plus and just let you know what happened in the episode, but they're going to do it weekly. So a lot of people are waiting to the end of the month, like the 29th, when all the shows will be available. And then they're just going to use their 7-day trial and like binge for free. So apparently there's some ways around it. Maybe that's something you think about. Maybe it's not, but I had to buy it because, you know, I'm addicted. So I'm trying it out. And 90 Day Bears All was interesting. Oh, I know what you guys thought. Hey, Crystal. I want to know what you guys thought. So they're branding it as an exclusive club, a backstage pass. And we're seeing a little bit of a different side to Sean Robinson, who's hosting the show. And what we're seeing is she's a little bit more sassy. She is asking way more questions. She's kind of digging into it a little bit more. So that was interesting. They started off with Brandon. Yes, Patrice. Hi, Patrice. Yes. So my understanding so far is that they haven't gotten all the okays, but they're working on getting Discovery Plus into Canada. I am from Canada, so I'm kind of like, yeah, you guys need it. So many fans are based in Canada as well. So my understanding is that they're working on getting it there. As you guys know, I talked about it yesterday. So it's not on Discovery. Discovery Plus is not on Apple TV either yet. You can download it to your Apple phone and then stream it to your Apple TV that way. It is on any of the Android apps. So if you have Fire Stick, Roku, all of that, it's on there. Or you can watch it through your computer or your phone. But, you know, most people want to watch it on their TV. So there's that part. I did see David from David and Annie explain that there is a little bit of a workaround. So if you can get a VPN, Patrice, and pay for, so it's an additional thing though, right? Because you're going to have to pay for a VPN. If you pay for a VPN, then you'll be able to download the Discovery app because it hides where your location is. So I don't know if that's something that you want to look into or if you want to wait until it actually reaches Canada. But that is the workaround that David recommended that I saw he said online. So Crystal says, this is the Sean we wanted in all the tell-alls. Yes. So I was thinking about that and I was wondering, is it because they're not on cable TV? Because network TV, she has to say certain things. She has to be a certain way. And now that it's streaming, she has a little bit of flexibility because y'all, they showed some stuff that I was like, oh, whoa, what are we watching here? So they started off with Brandon and his parents, Ron and Betty, and they gave a little quick backstory of Julia coming from Russia and how the mom is really like specific with them and really wants to spend like time, the four of them doing things together. So keep that in the back of your mind. So Brandon talks a little bit about his experience with Julia so far. So Sean says, she seems like she doesn't like anything. She seems like she's complaining a lot. That's what Sean said. And Sean said she doesn't like the farm. She doesn't like the animals. She doesn't like the fact that you guys are in separate rooms. She wants to be in a big city. And it seems like things are tense. And Brandon's like, yeah, things are really, really tense. Julia, he says, is hard to please and that she's not adapting to the farm life at all. And the biggest thing is the same room. So Sean turns to Ron, his dad, and is like, what's the problem with the same room? And Ron and Betty say it's because they're not married yet. It's their house, their rules. And because the bedrooms are all side by side, they don't want to hear Brandon having sex with Julia. They just don't want it. And it's more that than anything else. And then Sean asks Brandon if, there has been sex in that room. And he gives this like smirk. And we all know that there has been. And the parents didn't know that. Then it goes on to say that they did a deleted scene or a scene that wasn't shown, and it was after dinner. So the dinner scene, if you guys remember, where Julia took a moment and said, hey, I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel safe here. I feel scared. I want to sleep with, like, in your room. I want to be with you, Brandon. And the parents put the foot down. So after that, they went back to Julia's room, and Julia wants Brandon to stay with her and says it again, like, I want you to stay. You're going to stay with me. And he says, we need to wait a little time. And he whispers it, like, we need to wait a little time. He's trying to ride out his parents. He's trying to figure out how he can make this work for both of them. He feels like he's stuck in the middle. And so Julia's upset by this. And she's like, your parents aren't asking what we want. How do we know, like, how we're going to live together if we don't spend any time together? Which is a valid question. I thought the same thing. She's like, I moved all the way here from Russia to be with you. I'm not going to live here and not be with you. It doesn't make sense to me. And your parents are treating you like you're a baby boy. So we get that same, I love a mama's boy vibe. If you watch that show, that same vibe Julia's getting. She's feeling like he's not standing up for himself. His parents are treating him like a child and treating her like a child, and she's not okay with it. She wants to have some independent time, some alone time, and be treated like an adult because she is indeed, at the end of the day, you guys, his fiance, right? So she wants to be treated like the fiance and not like some child who has to, go to your separate sides and go to your separate rooms. She's not about that life. Then the thing that got me the most, you guys, Julia says to Brandon, I think your mom is jealous because you give me all your time. And Brandon says, yes, she is. Were you guys shocked if you watched that part? Did you guys were like, oh, damn. Julia just called the whole thing out. She's like, she's jealous. She's jealous of us. She's jealous of the time that you spend with me. And Brandon's like, yeah, she is. Then they cut to Sean again. And they ask her. And Betty says she admits she's jealous of the time that he spends with her. And she says that it was time that she used to be able to spend with him together. So she is indeed jealous. Shocker, guys, shocker. Of course she's jealous because that's all she's showing right now. And that's why she's being, a cock block, really. She's like anything and everything she can do to keep them separated or to make sure that they're all together and they're not just alone. She straight is like trying to do that because she actually made it on national TV that she's jealous of the relation, not the relationship itself, but the time that they spend together. And then Ron jumped in and said, yeah, we used to get a lot of Brandon time, but now that Brandon time is Julia time, so we missed that. Crystal in the live chat says, yep, and was shocked Mama admitted it. I was shocked too, girl. So that part happened. And then they're in the room still and they're talking. And she's like, well, here's the deal. If you don't fix the situation, we're not having sex. And until you fix the situation, we're not having sex. He says, okay, well, I'm going to decide for you. And he kisses her on the lip. He pats her on the head like she's 5, rubs her arms, and says, good night, sleep well. I'll see you in the morning. And leaves her with like a teddy bear. I was shocked. I was like, oh, so you're treating her like she's a 5-year-old too. We're all just treating each other like we're not adults here and we can't make our own decisions. So he sided with his parents. He decided that he was going to just go to his room and leave her in her room and not try to have this argument, that day. So I thought that part was really, really interesting. And then she's pissed. So she's to camera and she's like, I didn't come to America to not be with him. She thinks his mom is his first love in his life. And she said that he promised that I would be first. And instead, he's making Betty first, and she's not okay with that. So there was a little bit of that. And then she's like, she doesn't like the fact that he doesn't stand up for himself. And it doesn't matter because if they can't sleep together in the room, they just go to the car and have sex, which is a big part too, guys. So because they can't sleep in the same room, now they're both sneaking out to his car. And if you guys remember, he has that Z300 and they're having sex in the car and then coming back to the house. That's their secret getaway. So really this whole, what are we doing right now? Like, how are we preventing a disrespect in the house because you're still on the house grounds and you're still doing what your parents don't want to do? The only difference is that your parents aren't hearing you. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the live chat. They then go on to talk about the birth control, and Betty doesn't think that she overstepped. Now, first of all, she admits that she's jealous of the relationship. Now she's saying that she doesn't think that she overstepped. She said, I know that they told me that they're not trying to have babies anytime soon, so I'm just trying to make it responsible for them. Y'all, 27 and 25. Brandon is 27 years old. Mama Dukes is not treating him like he's 27. If he's going to make mistakes, let him make mistakes, because guess what? He's a grown man. He's a grown man. He might not look like a grown man, y'all, but he's a grown man. So mom calling her doctor for birth control for your fiancé sounds ridiculous to me personally. And what's even more ridiculous is the fact that Betty doesn't think there's anything wrong with it. She doesn't think that she overstepped. She feels like she did her motherly duties, and she feels like she's doing what's best for their relationship, even though she's not in the relationship. But guys, she thinks she's in that relationship too. And you know that by her wanting to change the date of their marriage because it doesn't work for her. Excuse me. That was hilarious to me. So then Sean asks about the condoms and straight out says, if Julie doesn't want to use birth control, why don't you put condoms on? And he says it's less fun. It's less feeling. And she's like, well, there are different types of condoms. And, oh, hey, Vanessa, you're new. Vanessa says, Julie is also 27. I thought she was 25. So if she's 27, that's a mess. Y'all are close to 30, both of y'all. This is a mess. And you know what? That makes me even more mad, Vanessa, because they're nearly 30 years old and they're being treated like they're 18, 19-year-olds not doing nothing. I know that's such terrible English, but it's terrible. I think I'm madder now that I know that both of them are old. Not old, but you know what I mean. 30 is close. 20 is in the rear end. So, Sean's asking about these condoms, and he's like, yeah, I don't want to use it. And she's like, well, you know that there are different types of condoms. And he's like, yeah, the ones that say they're thin, aren't really thin, and they're just, we have other methods. And Sean's like, please tell me you're not doing what I think you're doing. And he kind of laughs. And then Sean turns to Ron and says, can you explain to your son how the method that he's using probably isn't the best method? And Ron breaks down like the whole withdrawal method and how it doesn't have to be, and he literally says like the words, it doesn't have to be like the end game for her to get pregnant. It can be any time in the process. And I've sat you down and talked to you about this. And Brandon wasn't phased. He wasn't phased. And that was another thing I was amazed by. The whole time that he was sitting in the chair, like the hot seat, he was not phased. He was not phased by the uncomfortable content, about his parents talking about sex with him, about his parents finding out, he's been having sex at the house. None of it. He was unfazed. Didn't matter to him. He's doing what he wants to do in his mind. Okay. So that was pretty fascinating to me. Then Sean's like, okay, the parents, you guys got to go because we're going to show a never seen before video and you guys can't watch it. So she says goodbye to the parents on video. And then Angela pops up on screen. Yes, Angela Dean pops up. And this segment is called Ange Bushed. And Ange tells Brandon how she feels. She says, you know what? You need to take that titty away from your mouth. Those are her words, I'm quoting. And stop being a mama's boy. And she says, belongs to Julia now, so you need to act like it. And you need to leave the house, move out of the house, do what you got to do to make your woman happy. Because if your woman's not happy, she says, then there's no point. So man up is what Angela says. Then they go to the segment where they're calling it Too Hot for TV. And it literally says, Too Hot for TV. And you see Julia and Brandon in the car, and y'all and Crystal, say something. Let me know what you thought about this, because I was like, oh, whoa. So the Too Hot for TV scene is them in his car. She's like, I want to live in a big city, and I can't do this anymore. And, maybe I'll just go back to Russia. And they start to have a fight. And he's like, this is effing annoying. Every time you don't like something, you threaten to break up with me and you threaten to go back to Russia, and I don't do that to you. They start bickering. And then, y'all, she's like, but I love you, right? She uses like that, that voice. That voice we use when we're like, okay, let's just like diffuse this situation. She's like, but I love you. And then they start making out, and there's like heavy making out, tongue action, y'all. You'll get the picture. I don't have to like super get deep into it. But the part that blew me away was so I'm Julia right now, and I'm in the passenger seat. And I look over to Brandon and I say, tickle? And he smiles. Y'all, did you know what tickle meant? Because tickle means like, tickle. No. Crystal said, I was like, surely they're going to stop the footage soon. And Vanessa said, oh my God, that scene was really too hot for me. Y'all, she gave him a hand job. She put her hand in and was tickling him in all the right places, y'all. And it was all on film. So Sean's like, did you not remember that there are cameras everywhere? And he's like, no. And she was like, yeah, the cameras are everywhere. And he's like, yeah, we didn't remember. Now here's the thing. They cut it for us, but there was Brandon's like, well, can we see the rest of it? There was way more than that, you guys. Way more. Just way more. Lydia, right there, if you can see on the screen, BJ was involved, but there was a whole. So you know how I said they had sex in the car at the house? Well, they were on the side street having sex in the car on the side street in front of the restaurant that they just left at. I'll leave it at that. And Discovery Plus, 90 Day Bears All, showed the beginning of that situation. So that was the Brandon situation. That's how they started the show. And y'all, I was like, what is happening? This is a whole new 90 day. I'm seeing it all now. Literally, I'm seeing it all. Crystal said, I never heard that tickle. Yeah, I think it's something that they made up together. I think it's like an inside thing between the two of them. Crystal says, no, this is not Pornhub, Brandon. Facts. No, you cannot see the rest of that, Brandon. No, you cannot. So that was the first part. Then the second part, you guys, that, you know, the teaser is what got me, is what got my $4.99. It was Brittany, Yazan, and Adam. So Brittany basically is saying that Yazan cheated on her with different girls. And he was just talking to all these different girls. And he's like, you're a liar. And she's like, no, you cheated. And I have the proof. She's like, people sent me some YouTube videos, and that's how she found out. And he said that they had broken up. So he feels like he didn't cheat because he feels like they were already broken up. When she left Jordan, he said that he said that she left and was never heard of again. He tried calling her, reaching out to her, and she just left him and disappeared. That's what he's saying. So in his mind, they were broken up because he says he was reaching out to her and she wasn't responding. And she doesn't deny that. So she was like, I was mad, basically, and I am not trying to talk to you right now because you cheated on me and you're lying about cheating on me. So there's that contention. She's saying that she's not answering because he cheated, and he said that they broke up because he tried calling her and reaching out to her, and she disappeared. So Sean then goes and says, okay, so who broke up with whom? And Brittany says that she broke up with him, and he says that he broke up with her, and he says that he told her just to please leave me alone. I don't want to have anything else to do with you. Just leave me alone. So they disagree on the breakup, how they broke up, who broke up with whom. None of it, y'all. And when I say the fire was everywhere. The fire was everywhere. Like if you could see fire and smoke out of these two animated, that's what was happening. Like it was pure venom back and forth, just venom. So then she says, no, I didn't just ghost you. You called me and you called asking for money. And she said she paid for everything. She said she paid for all her flights there. She paid for the apartment there. She said that he didn't have a job and he paid for nothing. And he freaked out. And Vanessa, yes. So, she left and ignored him. Yes. She left and ignored him according to Yazan. She says she left and then didn't answer because she found out he was cheating. And then Crystal says this one was surprising too. It was very, very surprising. So she said that she paid for everything. He was a bum. He didn't have a job. He didn't have a place to stay. He was nothing. And he's like, no, he said he spent $50,000 on tickets, on an apartment, on everything for her. He spent his hard-earned money. And she's like, you're a liar. She's like, I was basically like your sugar daddy and you were the sugar baby. And she's like, you are too young to be a sugar baby and you got nothing going on and you got nothing to offer. And she's like, you're not even that fine, is what she said. So they went back and forth on that. And all I saw was hatred. Like, I don't even know where the hatred came from. And I would love to find the video that she found or was sent from YouTube to see the whole like sending of pictures and the cheating business and the other women and all of that stuff. Because, she tries to bring the receipts. So then She blocked him on all her social media, and he was like, I don't know what happened. And this is the point where Sean was like, can you, Adam, the translator, because the translator was there, Adam, can you translate what's going on? And so Yazan basically says he was blinded by love. He didn't realize that she was really just lying to him and using him, taking an advantage of him. Yazan says that she was dating older guys, and his parents think that she's a porn actress because of all of the stuff that she posts on social media. And he's like, why would I ever want to marry a porn actress? And then she freaks out and says, you know everything about me, and you knew everything about me when you first met me. You saw my social media. I told you who I was. You told me that your family liked my pictures. They liked my music videos. You told me that they said I was beautiful, so beautiful. And she pulls out her phone to show the receipts. And in the receipts, she's like, this is where they say you're beautiful and your parents love the picture, and she points to the screen. That's all she sees. We don't see the beginning of the conversation nor the end of it. We just see like a screenshot of it. The brother is fine though. You guys are already on the brother. So she's like, you knew me before then. I don't see what your problem is. You're just mad because I'm calling you out now. So you're trying to use all the stuff that you already knew about me against me, and that's not cool. So crazy. So she's like, you knew me before, you knew how I was. You're just trying to like be an ass after the fact. And she said, you're mad because you got caught cheating. You're a toxic manipulator, she says. And then Sean's like, so Yazan, like, what's the deal? Like, why do you not want to be with her? Y'all, he said that he found out that Brittany was dating older men for money. She was sleeping, having sex with older men for money. And Brittany freaked out. But you know what, you guys, the people that watched this, did you notice that she didn't say, no, I didn't? I thought that part was interesting. So she didn't say, no, I didn't. She said, you're a liar. They have a job. They know how to act. They tell the truth. And they're not stealing my money out of my purse. So I was like, so is the liar part saying like no, because you didn't flat out say no. You're just like, you're a liar. But then she goes on to say that she was sleeping one day and Yazan stole money out of her purse. And his excuse was, I had to get stuff for us. And then this is when it popped off. Y'all, it popped off. And I'm going to try to make it as PG because I know YouTube is like tripping right now. So she said that he was texting a gay boy for money, and that boy sent pictures of his butt wide open, and she literally did the butt clap wide open, and you still were talking to him. Yazan freaked out, y'all. He freaked all the way out. He freaked out, like freaked out. He's like, what's wrong with you? It never happened. He like swears to God it never happened. But he's so frustrated that he's like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. And then he calls her an MF. And then he says, shut up, B, the B word. And then she says, oh, all calm, you guys, all calm. She's like, you should probably watch your tone and your words, because he just cussed back to back on national TV. And she's like, yeah, you can call me the B word, but I'm the baddest B, period, and I will expose you. Now, you guys, when she said that, she said it with all the conviction in the world. Like, she had all the tea. She had all the receipts. She was not playing. He was super frustrated. And there's more there. And so now there's going to be a part 2. So part 2 is going to have Yazan's brother and the dad joined them. But when I tell you that moment was fire, it was fire, y'all. Like, y'all, she clapped her hands. She talked about like the undercover brother. And yes. So Crystal says guilty. Vanessa said guilty. Lydia says defensive equals guilty. She basically said, Crystal says, that Yazan is for the streets, men and women. Oh, I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but Shadira, let's say hi to her. Welcome, first timer. Everyone be nice and say hi. She says that she doesn't feel like Yazan seems like a cheater. I don't know, y'all. I from what I watched on this very first episode, Brittany seemed like she was like coming with the receipts, and she wasn't like, you know, she normally like freaks out. She got a little mad, but she caught herself, and she was just in her mind spitting facts and spitting receipts. And Yazan was the one that was frustrated and yelling and screaming, and all he kept saying was, you know, you're a liar, and then he started cussing at her. And if you guys follow our 90 Day the Melanated Way on Instagram, I did catch a live with him and his brother. And when they were super mad, that's what they do. Like, they started cussing left, right, and center. They started saying a bunch of stuff and threatening Brittany on online. So I think that that's his defense mechanism, is that he gets angry and he starts cussing people out, but then he can't defend himself. So just like the live chat is saying, you know, defensive much? Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, y'all, if someone said some random stuff to you and you knew it wasn't true, wouldn't you be like, B, that is not true. Like, just stop it. It's not true. But if I was like, because that's what he was doing, you guys, then I would be like, oh, see, maybe it is true, because what's the saying? Thou dost protest too much? I don't know, y'all, but that's what happened. So that was segment 2. So we had Brandon segment 1. We had Yazan and Brittany segment 2, and it was fire, y'all. Like, that alone is worth the 7-day trial. It's worth the $4.99 for the month. That alone, I highly recommend you see it. Find a clip of it. I have the clip that I can't say here on YouTube. Again, if you hit up our 90 Day the Melanated Way Instagram, I have the clip posted there. And like, I just have no words. I have no words, because I can't imagine looking at camera and saying, well, you were talking to, see, I can't even do it because I'm laughing. You were talking to so-and-so and butt cheeks, and she doesn't use butt cheeks, y'all. She uses like all the other language. We're spread wide open, and you kept talking to him like that, y'all. Okay. Lydia says, Brittany flipped the tables. People have said stuff about her being ghetto and loud, but not the same about him. Look at him now. Facts. She's been hated on the most. And y'all just be hating on this girl, and you can call her all the things you want to call her, but she came correct. She came with receipts, and he came with a whole different ball game. He came just like mad, and all the cuss words all the time. So that was section 2. The third section is called 90 Day Got Skills. And it's where they're saying that they want to showcase the talents that the 90 Day cast members have. And they started with Tariq. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now that I'm biased. I'm biased because if you've ever watched my show, I love Tariq. I think that he's passionate about his love, but he is not. Rapping is not in his wheelhouse. Okay, he is not a rapper, in my opinion. And if he ever did a versus battle, he would be laughed at. That's all I'm saying. So with that bias in mind, he took to the stage. He calls himself the Black Anthony Bourdain. And so he says the Black Anthony Bourdain is in this beat. Okay, and I only wrote down the first lyric, so you guys can get an understanding of what is going on. So the first lyric is, hot girls around the world, you are the spice of life. So I wrote this song for you, you spicy girl. Okay. He completely performs. He has the do-rag in his hand. He's wiping off his sweat. He's like performing to the camera. He's doing the most. He's got the whole thing going. And then the camera pans to Sean, who's like, you know when you do that like sway thing? She's swaying a little bit, okay? Acting like she is enjoying it. But then they pan to her face, and this is her face. So now I'm going to do her with her face. She's like this. If you're listening on the podcast later, I had a like dead serious face. I'm not enjoying myself. I think the music is trash, but I got to stand up because this dude is performing. So that's all I can say about it. It was trash. Crystal says, the whole thing was cringy. I fast forwarded it, couldn't do it. Vanessa says, no. And Rodella says, I saw a clip of the rap and all I could say is, oh, Lord, no. And Crystal says, this ain't it, boo. This ain't it. And Vanessa says, ha, 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 this song it was trash, y'all. It was trash. Pure trash. And the crazy thing is, if you guys watch my news and gossip show on Wednesdays, you know that he is not only releasing the song on all streaming like Spotify, Apple Music, he's working on an album. Can't remember the name of it, but he has a album that he is releasing this year. And I just, again, I have no words. Love you, Tariq, but you know, your spiritual gift is definitely not rapping. And I wish someone would tell you that. So after he reforms, he sits down and Sean and him like kind of kick it. Sean asks him how long he's been rapping. And he says that he started rapping, or he's been rapping since he was 10 years old. Now, y'all, you know that every person that ever performed says, yeah, I've been dancing since I was 2. I've been singing since I was 4. I've been running marathons since I was 8. Like, you know, they all say that. Everyone says that, right? So like me, I'm a reporter. I've been reporting since I was 5. Okay, calm down. Okay, calm down. Because if you've been rapping since you were 10 years old, when I watched that episode, the very first episode of the season where you were rapping at the studio, you would definitely not have your phone or your iPad reading your own friggin' lyrics. That wouldn't be a thing. Second of all, I feel like you would just be better, because that means you've been rapping for 36 years. 36 years, and this is the end product? Crystal says, I commented on one of your Instagram posts that Blake needs to help him out. Blake liked it. That's hilarious. Blake, go ahead and help him because he needs all the help. Lydia says, he's been rapping since he was 10. I can't even. This is not your ministry, Tariq. Let's try something else. Exactly. It is not your spiritual gift. Bye. And we talked about it. He has a lot of different other gifts. He's, you know, definitely, you know, like a realtor. He, you know, good father. He's got a lot of gifts, but just rapping isn't one of it. And it's funny to me that this is the one that he wants the most. So that was the first part. He's been rapping since he was 10. She asked him if he remembered the first rap song he wrote, and he said that it was Tariq Monster. Doesn't remember anything else, but it was Tariq the Monster. That's the name of the song. And then she asked him about this hot sauce song. He said it was inspired by Hazel, of course, because just like hot sauce, she's nice and sweet. She's a shy person. And he said like hot sauce, when you look at it, it's nice and sweet too. Totally don't know how these two things connect, but he connected them. But then when you open it up, they're flames. And that's what inspired the hot sauce song. So then she asked him, well, why do you call yourself the Black Anthony Bourdain? And he says, because Anthony Bourdain inspired him. And he said that to travel the world. Okay, I want you guys to remember that part. He said, Anthony Bourdain inspired him to travel the world. He was watching a segment on Thailand and then was like, I have to go there. And so he says, Tariq says that he's traveled the world. 7 or 8 years, he's traveled the world. I think he's gone to Thailand and the Philippines quite a few times, but that doesn't mean because you go to the other side of the world that you've traveled the world. Because he couldn't name, I won't say couldn't, he didn't name any other place that he had traveled to. So, as most of y'all know, there are certain hotspots that single men like to travel to. The Philippines is one of them. Thailand is one of them. Brazil is one of them. That is all I'll say. So don't, and he did this. He's like, yeah, Anthony Bourdain, rest in peace. He did that whole thing. But I'm not sure if you should be really saying like you're the Black Anthony Bourdain, because I don't think that he traveled the same way that you travel. He traveled the world and inspired food and foodies and learning about culture. I'm not quite sure if you're doing the same thing. So then after that, of course, Sean wants to know about Dean and what happened with Dean. Now, I'm going to say this. There's so much more to this story. He basically says that they filmed an episode. They went out to dinner. They hugged it out, went their separate ways. The next day, the EP calls Tariq and says that Dean quit, just out of the blue. Dean said that he had problems with Tariq, saying that he cut him off all the time, didn't let him finish his jokes, always talking over him, and he was done. He was done. That's what he said. So then Dean tried to reach out to him, but found out that, Tariq tried to reach out to Dean, but found out that he was blocked everywhere. Dean had blocked him all on socials, had blocked him on his phone calls, blocked Hazel as well. So Tariq calls the EP back and says, hey, can you reach out to Dean and see what's up? And producer's like, yeah, I did. He doesn't want to talk to you. He's done. And Tariq cannot ever forgive him. And Tariq says he doesn't know what happened because nothing happened. They show a clip of Tariq talking to his mom. And Tariq basically feels that Dean stabbed him in the back. He moved out of the country, didn't tell him, has no respect for him, backstabbed him. He took money out of his pocket, because he says that they were very popular on Pillow Talk and they were getting paid very, very well, he said. And so that took money out of his pocket. And then Sean's like, if it took money out of your pocket, didn't it also take money out of his pocket? Like, there has to be more to the story. And I have to talk to Dean about it because that doesn't make sense, right? And then Tariq is like, well, he knew we had plans. We had plans to do investments. We had plans for this money that was coming in. And he took that all away. Okay, here's what I think, y'all. Because and I'm going to only speak from my personal opinion and perspective from that time. From that time, and again, I love Tariq. No disrespect to Tariq, but from that time, Tariq was a little dry and Dean was hilarious. He's boisterous, he's funny, he says crazy things, and he made me laugh. So even when he was on 90 Day in the Philippines with his brother and he's doing like the workout stuff, talking crazy to Hazel to her face, all that stuff, super entertaining. Might not be appropriate, but he was super entertaining. Then on Pillow Talk, okay, Tariq was like, you know how there's a yin and a yang? Tariq was a yin and Dean was a yang, but Dean was like the fire yang. Like, you came to watch Pillow Talk to see what outrageous things would come out of Dean's mouth, right? He would just fire coming out of his mouth, but hilarious, like tears coming down my face, hilarious. And that's the only reason I don't even really watch Pillow Talk like that anymore. But Dean was hilarious. And like some people thought he was obnoxious. Yeah, he was obnoxious. Yeah, he was boisterous. He's all those things, but he was pure entertainment. And I dare say stole the show a little bit from Tariq, right? So I can see how Tariq would be the one that was cutting him off and stopping the jokes because, like Tariq just said, and I didn't say it, but I'm going to say it now. He said to Sean that him and Hazel are the ones that started on 90 Day and were invited into the 90 Day universe. So it was really about them, right? Fast forward, you're on Pillow Talk. He's like, we got invited to do Pillow Talk. You get invited to Pillow Talk, and all of a sudden you're not the star, your brother's the star. Yeah, you're going to feel a little bit of resentment. And yeah, you're probably going to cut him off a little bit. And yeah, you're probably going to, not let him finish his joke because he's stealing your shine, right? In your mind. Now, on Dean's end, Dean's like, yo, I'm the star here. And even though he was a supporting character on the season that they were on Pillow Talk, he's like the star. And so you put in money, network TV, a little bit of reality TV fame, and egos on who's the star. You see this all the time. You see this even with actors that can't work together because who's the bigger star? Boom, that's what happened. I think that's what happened. I think they both had big heads. I think they both thought that they were the star of the show. And they started resenting each other. And, even the good money couldn't save them. Crystal says, yes, they are my Pillow Talk faves. Tariq could not have done Pillow Talk without Dean. Dean was very inappropriate with Hazel on TV, though. And Hazel seems to want them to reconcile. And Shadira says Dean was hilarious. Yeah, Dean was the star, y'all. MLBL, he was the star of Pillow Talk. Okay. I think that, like I said, they were good yin and yang, but the comedy came from Dean. It really did. So that's what happened, you guys. And they got my $4.99 worth. I watched like 3 ads. I was okay with the 3 ads. I'm still trying to figure out what this extra tax and fees is going to be. It better still be under $6 as far as I'm concerned. But if you're like on the fence, like I said at the top of the show, wait a couple of weeks and binge it and see if you like it for 7 days because you can get it free for 7 days or not. A lot of people are protesting it and saying, because it is hard times and people are losing jobs and trying to feed their families and all of that stuff. But like I said to you guys, everything is migrating over to Discovery Plus anyway. So at some point, you're not going to need TLC because all the shows, all the 90-day shows are going to be on Discovery Plus streaming. So that's that. Krista says, but people grow. Although Dean went and did what Tariq did, he's now in the Philippines and trying to have a family with his boo there. They can make up. I'm not sure if they're going to make up because Crystal, just on the show, Tariq was like, F that dude today, tomorrow, next week, next year. I don't know if they're going to make up. And I can't wait till next week when Dean arrives because, he doesn't mince his words. And they've had a whole year of pent-up anger. So although Tariq is more reserved, I don't think we're going to expect that from Dean, a reserved answer. I think Dean's going to go balls out. So next week is going to be part 2 of Yazan and Brittany and Yazan's brother and dad. We're going to see also another performance, whoever it is, they haven't said yet. And then we're also going to see, I'll tell you because I actually posted it. We're also going to see, so Brittany and Yazan part 2, Dean and Tariq part 2, and a performance. So I will tell you right now, if you just hold the line. So January 10th, Tariq and Dean part 2. We're going to see David and Annie on it. We're going to see Brittany and Yazan part 2. And then we're going to see Jovi and Yara. And Tomorrow, you guys, news and gossip. I got big news and gossip about Jovi and Yara. Big news and gossip. So make sure you are subscribed to our Patreon because it's $5. Everything's $5 nowadays. For all the news and gossip. Definitely make sure that you like and subscribe to our page so you get the updates for whenever we go live with our shows here on YouTube as well as on Facebook. It also helps our little family. Shout out to all the new people like the Vanessas out there, Shadir out there, my day ones. You all know who you are. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be here tomorrow, same time, same place, with all the 90-day news and gossip. Thank you so much. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. And don't forget to check us out all across social media, but especially our Instagram at 90 Day The Melanated Way. We're breaking news left, right, and center. Love you guys. We will see you all tomorrow. Goodbye. Farewell. Krista says, I'm only here for Discovery Plus if it's like Netflix where I can binge everything. Well, you can, but you gotta wait till it all airs. They have something that is all binge worthy and already out, and then some things that they're doing a hybrid of Hulu and Netflix. So you can binge on some shows and you have to wait weekly on other shows. All right, y'all. I'll see you tomorrow. If I don't see you tomorrow, I'll see you next week. Bye for now.